G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well. In today's video, I will be giving you my round 14 NRL tips along with my State of Origin tip as well, who I think will win game 1. So, round 13, we managed to only get 2 out of 5 games. Rabbits lost in a close contest. Don't know what happened. The Warriors-Broncos game was a disaster. Tipped the Warriors, they lost. And Manly lost to Newcastle, which I should have expected, but oh well, stuff happens. So I'm hoping we can get a perfect round this week, hopefully. I am desperate to get one, but eventually we'll get one. I mean, this year's just been so unpredictable. But without further ado, let's get into the round 14 NRL tips and the State of Origin prediction video. I will start off with my Game 1 Origin prediction. Now, Game 1 is only 2 days away as of this recording on Monday morning. I will back New South Wales no matter what. But unfortunately, we have suffered a bit of a major player injury. Latrell Mitchell has done his calf, so he is unfortunately out of action for Game 1 and for up to between 1 to 3 weeks as well. So that's a massive blow, and especially for the Bunnies. If he was going to be backing this week, I don't think he will now. But all the best for the Blues and Maroons. This will be the second time Origin's going to Adelaide. Last time this took place was during the COVID pandemic year of 2020, where Queensland just won 18 points to 14 at Adelaide Oval back in 2020. So for Game 1, I'm going on New South Wales to win 1 to 12. I'll go to Blues to win by 6 with a scoreline. I'm going to go 26-20. Round 14 of the NRL kicks off on Friday night at 8 PM at Campbelltown Sports Stadium. It's between the West Tigers and the Canberra Raiders. The Tigers are coming off a bye back in round 13, but the week before that, they demolished and buried the North Queensland Cowboys at Leichhardt Oval in their potential final game there at Leichhardt. 66 points to 18. That's the biggest winning margin ever for the West Tigers, and I believe of any of the merger clubs as well, of Balmain or the Magpies. That's the Tigers' biggest win ever, and the first time I believe they scored 60 points plus in a game as well. While the Raiders are coming off a very good win over the Rabbitohs back on Saturday night at the Core Stadium. I was at the game. It was a very great game. Unfortunately, Corey Hora suffered a seizure with 15 minutes to go in the game. Unfortunately, he was off on a stretcher and he's sent to Westmead. Went to Westmead Hospital. He is recovered from it. He has posted an update. Now, all best well wishes for him, but unfortunately, I think he will not be playing this week due to him having the seizure. Very shocking to watch at the game as well. But at least all the players surrounded him to give him privacy. But all well, best wishes to him. And so in the past 10 encounters between these clubs, the Raiders have thrashed the Tigers on past 10 encounters, winning 9 of the past 10, which includes winning 5 straight between 2019 and last year. So last time the Tigers beat the Raiders was 22-20 back in 2018 at GIO Stadium. And funny thing is, the last time the Tigers beat the Raiders at Campbelltown Sports Stadium was back in 2014 when they won by 1 point, 19 points to 18. So this game is a bit tough to say, even though you can say it's easily winnable for either team. Well, now, although the Tigers did put on a great performance against the Cowboys, I will back the Raiders to win this one. I'll go to Raiders to win 1 to 12. I don't think it will be 13 plus. I'll go 1 to 12. Raiders to win by 8 points. I'm going to go a scoreline of 26-18. Now, just to note, Jared Croker is not playing his 300 game this week against the Tigers. He's doing it next week at their next home game. So he's going to be rested for this game. But the Raiders to win 1 to 12 by 6. the first of 3 Super Saturday games. The first one kicking off at 3 p.m. here in New South Wales, 5 p.m. over there in New Zealand. Is between the New Zealand Warriors and the Dolphins. The Warriors are coming off a close loss against the Broncos, but a bit of a god awful game to go over. I didn't watch the game as I was at a core stadium to watch the Bunnies game, but looking at the replay, it was so hard to watch. But miraculously, Warriors did come back, but unfortunately, the last second no try prevented them from winning. So Warriors lost 26-22 to the Broncos, while the Dolphins, on the other hand, managed to beat the Dragons 26 points to 12 after the Dragons thumped them 38 points to 12 back in round 5 down at Wollongong. So good on the Dolphins for winning against the Dragons. Now, Dolphins should begin Tom Gilbert and the Hammer back from Origin if they as long as they pull through and not injure themselves. So this will be an interesting game to choose. There is no history between these two, as this will be the first time the Warriors and Dolphins will play against each other, and the first time the Dolphins will play a match outside of Australia, and first time in New Zealand. So this is another tough game. Although the Warriors did come back, sadly I will back the Dolphins to win this game. I'm going to go to Dolphins to win 1-12. I think it will be a close game. If Warriors win, I will not be surprised. But funny thing is, I tip the Warriors, they lose. I don't tip the Warriors, they win. But I don't think that will happen this time. I'll back the Dolphins to win this game 1-12. I think I'll go Dolphins to win by 4. I think this will be a very, very close contest. I'm going to go low scoring. I'm going to go 16 points to 12. The next game kicking off at 5:30 p.m. up there on the Gold Coast at Cbus Super Stadium is between the Gold Coast Titans, or Gold Coast Chokers, against my boys, the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Now the Gold Coast Titans come off a bye last week, but the week before that they choked against the Bulldogs. They led 14-0 against the Bulldogs at halftime, or 14-4. And then the Bulldogs come back to win 20 points to 18. My God, how many times have the Titans choked this year? They've choked in a couple games this year. The most choked team out of all the teams currently in the NRL. When's it going to end, honestly? But whatever, I guess. Well, my boys, the Bunnies, coming off a close loss against the Raiders in a very entertaining game that I was at. Honestly, I know we lost, but it was such an amazing game. I'll give it that. But obviously, we had no Latrell Mitchell, no Cameron Murray, no Jai Arrow, but Latrell Mitchell's out injured. So I expected to see Cameron Murray and Jai Arrow to pull through and come back onto the Gold Coast to play against the Titans on Saturday. But we'll wait and see. Now, in the past 10 encounters between these clubs, the Rabbitohs have had the wood over the Titans, as the Bunnies have won 8 of the past 10, which includes winning the last 7 games straight. So the Gold Coast last won against the Rabbitohs back in 2016, where they lost 29-28 by 1 point. Where they won 29-28, all the way in Perth at NIM Stadium. I think it's called something else now. And the last time that the Titans beat the Rabbitohs at Cbus was back in 2009. So we have played we've played at least 8 to 9 games at Cbus against the Titans since then, and we have won since 2012, because that's when we. So from 2012 onwards, we've won at Cbus at every game against the Titans. But for this game, obviously, I know we've lost 2 in a row, and we expect to have our Origin stars back, and same for the Titans. But I'm going to go to Bunnies 13+. I mean, the Titans lead in the first half, choke in the second half. I'm not shocked, honestly. Bunnies to win 13+. I'll go to Bunnies to win by 16 with a scoreline of 34-18. The final game to wrap up Super Saturday at 7:35 p.m. kicking off is between the Cronulla Sharks and the Brisbane Broncos, taking place at PointsBet Stadium in Sydney. The Brisbane Broncos are very lucky to get a win over the Warriors back in round 13, as the Warriors came back, but due to a try disallowed, the Broncos held on to win 26-22 without 5 Origin players. Unbelievable. And the masterclass of Adam Reynolds is what made the Broncos win. While the Sharks are coming off a bye, and the last time they played, they beat the Knights up there at Coffs Harbour International Stadium, winning 26 points to 6 back in round 12. Now, I'm not sure if every Origin player will be back for the Broncos, but we'll wait and see what happens. And Nico Hines, depending on if he will play or not on Wednesday, I'm hoping he does. He should be back for the Sharks as well. Now, in the past 10 encounters between these two clubs, the Broncos have had the wood over the Sharks, as the Broncos have won 8 of the past 10, which includes winning 6 straight. And this will be the first time that these two have played at PointsBet since 2019 as well, as every other game has been played at Suncorp in between then. And the last time that the Sharks beat the Broncos at PointsBet was back in 2016, where they won 30 points to 28 against the Broncos, when it was called Southern Cross Stadium or whatever. But for this game, although Broncos got the win, is at PointsBet Stadium, and this will be the first time the Broncos have travelled outside of Sydney. So outside of Queensland, my apologies, to Sydney since round 1 when they beat the Panthers 13-12. So although they did win last week across the ditch, I will go to Sharks to win 1-12. I think this would be a very, very tight game. I'm going to go to Sharks to win by 2 points with a scoreline of, I'm going to go 26-24. The first of 3 Sunday games, the first one kicking off at 2 p.m. We got a game up here on the Central Coast at Industry Group Stadium, and that is between the Sydney Roosters and the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Both teams are coming off byes in round 13, and back in round 12, the Roosters are coming off a 2-point loss against the Dragons. Roosters were in the lead until about the last 10 seconds or so. Dragons went over, scoring a try, winning the match, 24-22. Well, the Dogs managed to come back and beat the Gold Coast Titans back in round 12, beating them 20 points to 18 at a Call Stadium. So both teams, both on a 2-point loss and a 2-point win. That's very convenient as well. This will be the first time that both of these teams will clash at Industry Group Stadium, or I just like to call it Central Coast Stadium. The Bulldogs have a great record here. The Bulldogs have won 7 of their 10 games they have won here. Last time they last played here was in 2020 when they lost to Manly. Lost to Warriors, sorry. No, sorry, it was Manly, sorry. While the Roosters have won 4 of their past 5 games up here on the Central Coast. The Roosters take a home game to the Central Coast for the last couple of years, since 2015, I believe. Also, in the past 10 encounters between these two, Roosters have had the wood over the Dogs. Roosters have won 8 of the past 10, which includes winning 8 of the past 9, and the Dogs snapped an 8-game losing streak against them in their last game when they beat them 16 points to 12, which they were at a Core Stadium. For this game is really tough to pick. Both teams have got Origin players, and Roosters should be expecting a couple more players back, like Sam Walker and Daniel Tupou, I believe. And Joseph Manu, they should be back. This game is real. I originally went with the Bulldogs, but although they have been on a 2-game losing streak, this is technically the first home game since Magic Round, even though it's more of a neutral ground. So I'm going to go the Roosters to win this game. I'm going to go the Roosters to win 1-12. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think I'm going to go 30 points to 24. So I'll go the Roosters to win by 6. The next game, kicking off at 4 p.m. up there in Townsville at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, is between the North Queensland Cowboys and the Melbourne Storm. Storm are coming off a bye from round 13, and the last time they played was against the Dolphins, and they managed to beat them, not convincingly though, but 24 points to 16. Well, the Cowboys are coming off another loss, but this time they only lost to Para. I believe the score was 26-18 or 24-18. Cowboys almost had the game won. Unfortunately, the Eagles scored a last-minute try as well. Yep, I was right. Yep, 24-16 at CommBank Stadium last week. Now, in the last 10 games between these two, Cowboys have been the bogey side to Melbourne in recent times. Storm have won 9 of the past 10, but Melbourne have won 12 of the past 14 against the Cowboys. Unbelievable. So, Melbourne have won 12 straight against the Cowboys, but the Cowboys snapped that losing streak when they shockingly upset Melbourne in Townsville last year, 36 points to 6. For this game, it's up in Townsville. They'll have Nanai back. They'll have Valentine Holmes. Tom Dearden should be back as well, as he's the 18th man for the players, for the Maroons, and many others as well. I'm going to go Melbourne. I'm going to play safe. I'm going to go Melbourne to win 1-12. I will go Melbourne to win by 10 points. I'm going to go Melbourne to go 30-20. And the final game to wrap up round 14 of the NRL is between the Penrith Panthers and the St George Illawarra Dragons, kicking off at 6:15 p.m. at Bluebet Stadium. Panthers are coming off a bye in round 13, and last time they played was against the Broncos, where they won 15 points to 4 up there at Suncorp Stadium, while the Dragons are coming off a loss against the Dolphins last week, losing 26 points to 12 at KO Stadium last week. In the past 10 encounters between these two clubs, Panthers have won 6 of the past 10, which includes winning 5 straight and winning 5 of the past 6 games against the Dragons. Last time the Dragons won was back in 2017, where they beat Panthers 16 points to 14, and that was at Pepper Stadium, aka Bluebet Stadium. So, easily, this game, I think this will be the only, other than the Rabbitohs, this will be the other 13 plus game. I'm going to Penrith to win 13 plus. Although they got Origin players out, like Luai, Crichton, Cleary, and Isaiah Yeo, I think they should back up. And Dragons have only got Ben Hunt out for Origin, and you know how they're like without Ben Hunt there. So Panthers easily win 13 plus. I'll go Panthers to win by 24. I'll go 30 points to 6. And ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my round 14 NRL tips, and along with my State of Origin Game 1 prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, so you don't miss out on any amazing videos like this one. Now, I will be back with the Super League tip video tomorrow, so it should be interesting to see how we did in the Super League. But round 14, this was a really, really tough round to pick, because you never know. I mean, majority of the Origin players should back up as long as they get through unscathed on Wednesday night. But make sure you stay tuned for State of Origin. For State of Origin Game 1, it's going to be an amazing game. Even with Latrell out, I think we're still going to go very well. But along with round 14, I think it will be a great round of footy as well. Very tough tips, like I said, but we'll wait and see what happens. Anyways, everyone, this will conclude my video, NRL tipping video round 14. I'll see you all in the next one.